Good evening or good day. This is Bear, joining you for the fourth entry in this behind the scenes series. Last go around, we covered the basics of editing stop motion in DaVinci Resolve. Today, we'll cover sound design, more specifically recording and editing the character voices. As far as equipment, I'll be using an Audio-Technica AT2020 USB microphone, which is hooked up to a set of Salnotes Zero Crinacle in-ear monitors to keep track of how it sounds as we go along. Then set up something as a pop filter to ensure that you don't blow out the audio of your microphone as you're recording. To record today, I'll be booting up Audacity. For this video, I'll show you how I would record a famous line for Venom from the comics. Now, for my voice of Venom, I relied on tracking the audio twice, once with an exhaled growl, and once with an inhaled snarl. I'll try to explain these the best I can. Starting with the growl, you can achieve this sort of sound with the same mechanism as letting out a grumbly sigh. This releases quite a bit of air, so it may take a few tries to get the sound the way you want it. When all is said and done, you should get something like this.
Eyes, lungs, pancreas.
The technique I used for the snarl is essentially snoring purposefully while still mouthing the lines. I also needed to generally enunciate more with the snarl sounds, and it made it sound a little more interesting at the final recording. Sounds ridiculous so far, but we'll get there. Now in Audacity, to get the classic Symbiote sound we're all used to from the shows, movies, video games, I first duplicate the original vocal track. Then I'll go ahead and shift it downwards 4 semitones and rebalance the audio to increase the bass and reduce the treble somewhat significantly. Now we just lay those over each other and it sounds a bit like this.
Eyes, lungs, pancreas. So many snacks, so little time.
Now, I jumped down to the snarling sound, which we will follow the same process, but I generally didn't double the layers like I did with the exhale growled sounds. Reduce the pitch by 4 semitones, rebalance levels towards more bass and less treble, and when we layer all the recordings together, it sounds like this.
Eyes, lungs, pancreas. So many snacks, so little time.
After this, I just balance the audio between the 3 tracks to get the sound and texture that I think sounds the best. After balancing the audio between the 3 tracks, I then add some reverb to make it sound more like Venom is part of the environment. After a bit of trial and error, it sounds something like this.
Eyes, lungs, pancreas. So many snacks, so little time.
Hopefully you enjoyed this entry in the series. I may make an addendum to this one in the event there are any specific details of the sound design from Battle of the Symbiotes 7 that you were more curious about. I will provide some resources as far as where I retrieved most of the audio for the effects regarding explosions, impacts, rubble, rushing water, so on and so forth. Epidemic Sound, Pixabay, and Soundly have massive libraries that contain most anything you can think of. Also, a brief announcement. I am working on another project. Thus far, I'm only in the writing and pre-production stage. It is another stop motion. Spider-Man is the main character, and I'll leave it at that for now. Thank you for watching, and wherever you are, I hope you have a good rest of your day.